A samurai is walking through a narrow street. It's loud. People are shouting. Someone bumps his shoulder on purpose. Another man tries to provoke him, but the samurai's face doesn't change. His breathing stays calm. His eyes stay clear. Not because he feels nothing, but because his mind doesn't move. That state has a name, Fudoshin, the immovable mind. And here's the truth. You don't lose your peace because life is hard. You lose it because your mind becomes easy to push. One comment ruins your mood. One delay breaks your focus. One bad morning turns into a bad week. Your mind starts reacting like a leaf in the wind, pulled by every message, every fear, every opinion, every small problem. Fudoshin is the opposite. It's a mind that stays steady in pressure, a mind that doesn't panic when things go wrong, a mind that doesn't get arrogant when things go right. It doesn't mean you become cold, it means you become stable. Because the world will always test you. People will misunderstand you, plans will fail, money will get tight, motivation will disappear. And in those moments, talent is not enough, intelligence is not enough, even discipline is not enough. What you need is something deeper, an inner foundation that doesn't shake. In this video, I'm going to show you how the samurai trained that foundation, how they stayed calm in chaos, focused under danger, and clear under stress. And I'm going to translate it into simple steps you can use today, when your emotions spike, when distractions attack, when anxiety hits, when life feels too heavy. If you build Fudoshin, you stop living in reaction, you start living in control.
When people hear immovable mind, they think it means you feel nothing, like you become cold, hard, or robotic. But that's not Fudoshin. Fudoshin doesn't remove emotions, it gives you control over them. A person without Fudoshin is like a cup with no lid. Any small shake spills everything. One rude comment spills anger. One bad message spills anxiety. One delay spills frustration. The problem is not the situation. The problem is how easily the mind gets pushed around. Fudoshin is the lid. Life can shake you, but you don't spill everywhere. Imagine a samurai before a fight. His heart is beating. He knows danger is real, but his mind stays clear. He doesn't panic, he doesn't rush, he doesn't freeze. He stays steady because he trained his mind to stay in the present moment. That calm is not weakness, it's power. Because when you are calm, you see more. You think better. You choose the right move. In modern life, your fight is different, but the pressure is the same. Deadlines, money stress, family problems, disrespect, fear of failure, these things can make your mind unstable. And when your mind is unstable, you make poor decisions. You say things you regret. You quit too early. You waste energy on drama. Fudoshin means you become stable enough to handle pressure without losing yourself. You can be angry, but you don't become anger. You can be stressed, but you don't become stress. You can feel pain, but you don't lose direction. The goal is simple. Stay calm, stay clear, stay in control, especially when life tries to shake you.
Most people don't lose their peace because of a big disaster. They lose it because of small triggers, again and again, until their whole day is ruined. A trigger can be anything. Someone ignores you, a rude comment, a delay, bad traffic, a family argument, a low view count, a rejection, a mistake, even a memory that hits your chest for no reason. The event is small, but the reaction becomes huge. And that's the real problem. Your mind becomes easy to push. Think of your mind like a door with weak hinges. Even a light wind can make it slam open and shut. One message and your mood changes. One opinion and your confidence drops. One small failure and you start doubting your whole life. You are not living, you are reacting. Fudoshin is when your hinges become strong. It doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop getting controlled. You still notice disrespect, but you don't explode. You still feel disappointment, but you don't collapse. You still face fear, but you don't run. Here's what's happening inside. Triggers try to pull you into an automatic cycle. Thought, emotion, reaction. Someone says something, your mind creates a story, they don't respect me, your body heats up, and you react, argue, overthink, quit, scroll, avoid. Fudoshin breaks the cycle by creating a new step: thought, emotion, pause, choice.
That pause is everything. In that small pause, you remember, this is a test. I don't have to be moved. You become the one holding the steering wheel, not your anger, not your fear, not your ego. When you build Fudoshin, triggers don't disappear, life still hits, but your reactions become cleaner, calmer, and smarter. And that's how you win. Not by controlling the world, but by controlling what the world can pull out of you.
When pressure hits, your body reacts before your brain can think. Your heart speeds up, your chest tightens, your jaw locks, your thoughts become loud and messy. And the worst part? In that state, you don't choose your behavior, you fall into it. You say the wrong thing, you make a rush decision, you spiral. The samurai understood something simple. You can't always control the situation, but you can control your state. And the fastest way to control your state is your breath. Breath is like a remote control for your nervous system. When you breathe fast and shallow, your body thinks you're in danger. It activates fight or flight. That's why you feel panic, anger, stress, and impulsive energy. But when you slow your breathing, your body receives a new message. I'm safe, I'm in control. Your heart rate drops, your mind clears, your emotions stop screaming. You can actually think again. This is why breath is not just relaxation, it's battle training for modern life. Here's the key. You don't wait until you're calm to breathe slow. You breathe slow to become calm. A simple technique. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6 to 8 seconds. Do that 3 to 5 times. That long exhale is the secret. It tells your body to shut off the alarm system. Now imagine using this in real life. Before you reply to a disrespectful message, before you enter a stressful meeting, when you feel anxiety rise at night, when you want to quit and escape into distractions. That one breath pattern creates space, and in that space, Fudoshin grows. Because an immovable mind doesn't start in the mind, it starts in the body. When your breath is steady, your mind becomes steady. And when your mind is steady, you become dangerous in the best way, calm, clear, and unshakable.
Most of your biggest regrets come from one thing: reacting too fast. A quick angry reply, a sarcastic comment, a decision made in stress, a message you send just to win. You don't even fully mean it, but in that heated moment, it feels right. Then later, when your emotions cool down, you see the damage. This is where Fudoshin is built, in the pause. The samurai trained to create a small gap between what happens and what they do next, because they knew if your enemy can control your reaction, your enemy controls you. And today, your enemy can be a person, a problem, or even your own emotions. Think of your mind like a matchstick. Without a pause, every trigger becomes fire. Someone disrespects you, fire. Something goes wrong, fire. Someone doubts you, fire. And you burn your energy, your relationships, and your focus. The pause is the matchbox cover. It stops the flame before it starts. This doesn't mean you become passive. It means you become precise. You don't react like a child. You respond like a warrior. Here's a simple way to practice the samurai gap. When something triggers you, don't move immediately. Stop. Breathe once. Ask one question. What response makes me proud after? That question is powerful because it pulls you out of ego. It pulls you out of emotion. It makes you think long term. In real life, the pause can be 3 seconds before you speak, 10 seconds before you reply to a message, 1 deep breath before you make a decision, walking away for 2 minutes instead of exploding. At first, this feels hard because your ego wants instant action. But every time you pause, you are training your nervous system to stay calm under heat. You are telling your mind, I lead, you follow. Fudoshin isn't about never getting angry. It's about never letting anger drive the car. And once you master the pause, people will notice something different about you. You don't get pulled into drama. You don't get baited. You don't get shaken. A shaky mind isn't only emotional, it's also distracted. It keeps switching targets. 1 minute you're working, the next minute you're scrolling. You start one goal, then you jump to another. You hear one opinion, and your direction changes. And slowly, you become busy, but you don't become powerful. The samurai didn't survive by reacting to every sound. In battle, if an archer looks at every movement, Every bird, every shadow, every scream, he dies. He survives because he locks onto one target and commits. That is Fudoshin, a mind that does not wander when it matters. Today, your battle is your attention. Your phone is built to steal it. People's opinions try to pull it. Your own doubts try to break it. And if you can't hold one target, you can't build anything great, because greatness requires depth, and depth requires focus. Here's the truth. Most people don't fail because they are not smart. They fail because their focus leaks every day. They keep giving their best energy to random things: drama, comparison, fear, entertainment. Then they try to build their future with what's left. That's why they feel stuck. Fudoshin means you become hard to distract. Not because life becomes quiet, life stays loud, but because you decide what matters most and you stop negotiating with the noise. A simple rule: one season, one main mission. Not 10 goals, not 50 plans, one main target. Then every day you protect it like a samurai protects his sword. You set a clear time for deep work. You remove distractions before they remove you. You say no more often. You stop chasing approval and start chasing progress. And when your mind tries to wander, you bring it back again and again without anger, just like training a muscle. That's how the immovable mind is built, not in motivation, but in direction. Because when you have one target, you become dangerous. You become consistent. You become unstoppable.
A lot of people think an immovable mind comes from confidence or positive thinking, but the samurai knew a deeper truth. Your mind becomes strong when it proves to itself that it can handle discomfort. If your life is always easy, your mind becomes fragile. Then when pressure comes, stress, rejection, failure, criticism, you panic, you avoid, you escape. You look for comfort fast: scrolling, food, sleep, excuses, anger, distractions. Not because you're weak, but because you never trained the skill of staying steady while uncomfortable. Fudoshin is that skill. Samurai training wasn't just about fighting, it was about building a nervous system that doesn't collapse. They trained cold, pain, repetition, boredom, and fear, so that in real danger, their mind wouldn't shake. Your modern discomfort is different, but the training works the same. You don't need extreme suffering. You need small, controlled discomfort every day, like a gym for your mind. Examples: wake up when you said you would, even when you don't feel like it. Do your workout when your body wants comfort. Take a cold shower for 30 seconds to practice calm under shock. Do deep work for 45 minutes without checking your phone. Sit with boredom without grabbing entertainment. Say the hard truth instead of pleasing everyone. Finish what you start, even when it gets boring. Each of these looks small, but it does something huge. It teaches your brain, I can stay stable in discomfort. And the more you train this, the less life can control you, because real strength is not loud, it's quiet. It's when stress shows up and your mind says, I've been here before. When temptation hits and you say, not today. When fear rises and you say, I can hold this. That's Fudoshin. Not built in comfort, built in training. So the goal is simple. Every day, choose one hard thing on purpose. And over time, your mind becomes the kind that doesn't break when life gets hard.
One of the biggest reasons people lose their peace is because they try to control what they can't. They want guaranteed results. They want people to understand them. They want life to be fair. They want effort to always equal success. But the world doesn't work like that. And when you attach your happiness to outcomes, your mind becomes easy to shake. If results are good, you feel high. If results are bad, you feel destroyed. If someone praises you, you feel strong. If someone criticizes you, you feel weak. That is not freedom. That is a mind controlled by outside events. Fudoshin teaches a different way. You don't control outcomes, you control actions. And actions are where your power is. A samurai could not control if the enemy would be strong. He could not control the weather. He could not control the battlefield surprises. But he could control his stance, his breath, his awareness, his discipline, his technique, his courage. So he trained what was in his control and accepted what was not. That's how you build an immovable mind in modern life too. You can't control people's opinions, algorithm, views, or viral luck.
market changes, unexpected problems, who leaves or stays. But you can control your effort, your preparation, your habits, your attitude, your consistency, your character. This shift changes everything, because when you commit to actions, you stop begging the world to cooperate. You stop panicking over results. You stop losing your mind over things you can't touch. You still care about winning, but you're not emotionally dependent on it. That's the real meaning of detachment. Not laziness, not giving up. It's peace while working hard. It's doing your best without fear controlling you. So when you fail, you don't break. You learn. When you succeed, you don't get arrogant. You stay grounded. When things are uncertain, you don't freeze. You move anyway. That is Fudoshin, calm commitment. You focus on what you can control, and you let the rest be the rest. And when you live like that, the world can't shake you, because your foundation is inside you.